can see Copenhagen, Zurich, Stockholm, they've all gone up. This is a really interesting development. And in that sense, no matter now the depth of the crisis, I think that the kind of complex, especially if you bring in the diversity question, okay, by which I include not just different immigrant groups, I mean art and culture and different forms of knowledge, really, also a mix of things. I think there is a real future for this. For the European continent, especially at a time of crisis, people they're less interested in exploring new frontier spaces now. That's going to return too. But I think that Europe is a safer place for many firms to operate in than America, which is wild. America revealed its Wild West features at a time of crisis. And then some of the Asian cities. So I find that extremely interesting. Now, very quickly, I want to also mention this. I want to develop very briefly this question of being a perfect global city. So here you have, just go to point number 3 here. A critical variable. There are always variables, right, in the study, 63 of them really. But this is an aggregate variable, which is ease of doing business. You know, which after all, in a market economy, that remains an important thing. I'm a bit of a socialist, but we are living in a market economy, and I like markets. I prefer the Adam Smith market to the non-markets that have dominated the global economy for the last 20 years. Those are not really markets, anyhow. But if you take ease of entry and exit, which is after all one of the critical issues, right? It turns out that London is 43rd, New York is 56th, and Amsterdam, by the way, I have all of the variables, the 63 variables run for Amsterdam. It's far too much to show, but again, I'm going to leave that. But Amsterdam on this one ranks 4th, way above. Now, I must also tell you that Amsterdam ranks very low in terms of opening a business. I was thinking about this when you were speaking. But it ranks rather high in closing a business. So people begin to be very attractive, because not all businesses that are global are barracuda. You know, financial services, they're in a hyperspace of risk, of aggressivity, etc., etc. I always say, you know, traditional banking is about selling money you have. Finance is about selling money you do not have. So by definition, finance is aggressive. And innovative is a pretty word for it. But not all firms that are operating globally need that. You know, so in that sense, the ease of doing business becomes very critical. If you're a leading financial services firm, you don't have that many options, you know, for your main office. But in anything else you do. Now here's another one. This is another important thing that came out. This is a study, mind you, based on business, okay? That I had my own agenda in this clearly. So for instance, Mumbai and Sao Paulo are powerhouses for certain financial aspects. But what brings them down, they rank like 50th or something like that in your ranking, is because of the social situation. A firm wants a reasonable space for even its lowest paid workers. And in that sense, European cities are regaining an interesting advantage. As more and more firms that are not hyper aggressive become globalized, those features really begin to matter. And in that sense, for me, there is an issue here about the governing classes realizing that having a reasonable social condition is critical. Now, so here you have, for instance, here is where Mumbai, number 7, and Sao Paulo, number 16, is the first time that they make it high up here. But again, in the overall ranking, see, Amsterdam is below them, right? But in the overall ranking, Amsterdam is way, way ahead of those other cities. Now, finally, business sector indication, again, as you can see, it's Hong Kong and London is at the top here. Very interesting for me. Singapore, Shanghai, and Dubai make it up here in the top. They were not in the others. Amsterdam does very well, better than its overall ranking, where it is number 10. The business center dimension is a very flat dimension, I should say. But what we do know is that getting a city to be middle class is actually very good for the city, because the middle class tends to have limited amount of money, and it tends to spend most of it in a city. The multiplier effect. It's a very distributed system. Now, this is much more than a lecture. I just wanted to end with a couple of questions, and that is, if we work off this notion that the specialized differences of cities matter, and that this means that cities are less in competition with each other, that there is the choice, the way firms construct their choices is very, very variable. So again, the image that I want to leave you with is, or that I started with, is if a firm can do it in Copenhagen, they are not going to London, because London is just more hard work. And the same thing holds in overall. And so the issue is, what is it now? Now, mind you, Amsterdam ranks extremely high. You understand that they're dealing with massively powerful cities. For Amsterdam to come out number 10. Now, the crisis has hit, as is the loss of your big banks, I mean, many troubles have come together to alter. The reason for showing this data is that there is clearly a broad number of variables that make Amsterdam a very significant business center. And it is, in a way, a far more powerful business center than Copenhagen, and you all know that. I don't need to tell you anything new. So the question really is not to simply read off where the city stands, and hence why should there be a corporate office district here, newly built, from the current moment. And now, again, I said in passing, we are living in a market economy, and I wish there were more markets rather than these strange things that, that are not really market economy. And in that sense, firms matter. No matter what our policies are, firms matter. And I think more and more firms are operating in global markets, etc., etc. Point number one. Point number two in my conclusion for Veritas, to become. And for me, the image is, can it address, does it have the instrument to address the question of incomplete knowledge? It's not about profit making, you see. There's this deeper structural logic